Hey everybody, welcome back to the Unreal Engine Twitch live stream. I'm Ivey. I'm here with the wonderful community manager for UT, Stacey Conley. How's it
Hi,
going?
everyone. It's going well, thank
Hey,
you.
well, it's good to be back with you all here. I know I'm sorry you're all missing Alex and you've got to deal with my ugly mug
Why
instead,
isn't
but
Alex here?
Alex is out on his honeymoon.
Oh,
Yeah, he got married.
he
He's doing
got
all kinds of
married.
fun stuff. Um, Anyway, we got some really exciting things to cover with you today. First, we're going to hop over and take a look at some news. Shelly, if you don't mind, heading over to the monitors. Great. So, Lethal VR has dropped earlier this week. This is a VR title from Team 17 and Three Fields Entertainment. Three Fields is a dangerous golf team. You can check it out right now. It's, believe on 20% sale as well. But if you're looking to wait a little bit to pick it up, we've also got 10 codes for Lethal VR that Adam Davis will be dropping into the
Very
chat
cool.
today. So take a look out for that. And if you get one, oh, by the way, it'll be done in a picture format too, so be prepared for that. So we don't, have all these go into these bots that are just snagging up codes left and right in Twitch. So go ahead and take a look out for that. If you get it, the Team 17 team has asked me, Team 17 team, they've asked me to have you guys, share your content and like tweet at them as well at Team 17 LTD. It's a really exciting game. It's really a lot of fun. We're happy to get these out, and so thanks Team 17 for sending these over. All right. See, next up here. So earlier this week, we kicked off the Humble Unreal Engine bundle in partnership with the Humble team. If you're not familiar with the Humble bundle, they basically take a bunch of really great games, they load them into a bundle. You pay what you want for these games, and there's usually some other little stretch items in here as well. So if you pay more than the average, you unlock even more games, and if you pay over a certain amount here, which is $10, you even get another one. So
There's some great games in here.
oh, totally.
Oh
So Killing Floor, awesome, right? Like, weren't we just chatting about you're going to pick this up?
Yes.
Or yeah.
So it's so awesome. And Shadow Complex, one of the guys from Reddit posted something yesterday on our gaming about Shadow Complex predicting the future, and it was really good. It made it to the top of Reddit. It's really really awesome.
Shadow Complex has been beloved by so many people for so
Yes.
long. We're really glad to be able to provide it in here as well, and we hope you end up picking it up. You can get a key for the launcher as well as Steam for Shadow Complex,
Which is really cool.
Oh, it's great, right? Dangerous Golf, it's the Three Fields team that's basically break a whole bunch of stuff internally inside. It's a wonderful game. If you haven't picked it up, this is now your chance to do so. Pay more than the average. You pick up these other Unreal Engine powered games: Vanishing of Ethan Carter, Adrift, and the Mean Green's Plastic Warfare. And if you hit over $10, you also snag the Culling, which is currently in early access.
Yeah. If you haven't played Vanishing too, that's a great game.
Vanishing is
so
great.
And so much fun.
Yeah,
I think I played it around the holidays last year. It was really good.
It's right on time if you haven't done it. And also, part of the split for the bundle goes to a charity. So the way it works is you pay what you want for these games, and you kind of decide where the money is actually going to go, whether it's going to be to the developers that make the games themselves that are shown above here. Humble themselves, they take a cut, and you actually change the sliders down here at the bottom that lets you choose where it all goes. And then the rest is charity. So they've got a Girls Game Make Games, which is a great initiative, and as well as Unreal Dev Grants. And so there's not really a whole lot of information on here on how that works yet. We'll get to that in just a second, but I'll show you where the sliders are. Pew, you can check it out right here. Choose where your money goes, and then, slide, and then your split of cash, we'll drop into those buckets. Now, the Unreal Dev Grants angle to this, we were chatting with the Humble team on how to approach doing an Unreal Engine bundle, and they usually have some sort of thematic twist to it, right? So this one's the theme is Unreal Engine, and they thought it was a really cool idea if we brought the grants program into this too. So not only are you picking up some really awesome titles here, you're helping Girls Make Games as well. You're actually able to put money towards the funding of future great quality titles, right?
Awesome.
So they'll have more information on what titles those will actually be for this in the future, but the bundle runs for the next couple weeks. I think it kicked off on Tuesday, and it's usually 2 weeks after that. So we encourage you, if you don't have any of these, this is definitely time to pick it up, which I will be doing because I'm missing a few of these.
Yeah, there's some great games. I've played, I think, just about all of these ones. I haven't played the golf one yet. So
Dangerous Golf.
So it's gonna be very fun to be able to play another one. So.
Yeah, totally. And then just announced the team over at Train Jam has put up all the information about, Train Jam for 2017. It's going to be February 22nd to the 25th, leading up to GDC. If you're not familiar with what it is, basically a bunch of developers meet up in Chicago, get on an Amtrak, and make video games on their way to GDC. We sponsored
Did
them
this last year?
Yeah, we sponsored this last year. Lauren Ridge went. She said it was awesome. A couple other epic folks were there as well.
Yeah, she had some great pictures from that.
Oh,
Looked
totally.
like she had a blast.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then they actually have a little booth in one of the concourses at GDC where all the Train Jam games that were made can be played. So it's super awesome. We're sponsoring again. We think the initiative's great. Tickets go on sale November 24th. So if you are planning to go, now is your chance. These tickets typically go pretty dang quick. So if you're thinking about it at all, I highly suggest if you can make it happen, go. I won't be able to go this year again, but someday I will
You're a
make it.
busy guy.
Yeah, I do a thing or two. Anyway, there's a post right now on our events forum that outlines a little bit more specific information, and it links over to the update post that shows a lot more here on the Train Jam website. So we encourage you to check that out, and we'll probably have a blog post on it soon once a little bit more information
Awesome.
is rolled out as well. So I think that's all the news items I got today. Let me hop over to this other machine while a guitar flies across my face and get into the meat of the things here. So we're going to kick off the Epic Mega Jam at the very end of the live stream today. That's typically how we do. So hang tight,
Yay.
everybody that's there for us. We'll try to be quick. That's why we don't have a community spotlight this week as well. But for those that might not be familiar with Unreal Dev Grants, so it's a $5 million initiative that we kicked off at the beginning of 2015, I think, right before
Yeah.
GDC. And it's basically to, just put money behind really amazing Unreal Engine 4 based projects. So basically, if you have something that's built in or for Unreal Engine, you're kind of eligible for one of these grants. It's been awesome. Like the last 18 months, we've seen some of the most incredible projects get Unreal Dev Grants from us. Everything from integrations like the Unreal.js, JavaScript interface, the Hacks plugin, Perception Neuron plugin, things that have been done in education. Probably a couple people that are in the chat right now that have been doing a lot to educate the community about how to build things in Unreal Engine, like Cedric's Network Compendium that put him in that camp. Matthew Wadstein, who was actually one of the top people on the Humble Unreal Engine bundle.
Oh,
His
nice.
name's up there, yeah, on the leaderboards, if you will. People like Rama and things that picked up from education. And then there's also just general community helpfulness, right? Like they're adding value to the community. So these are all like a lot of these are non-tech related things, but like people like Michael Aller or Nick from the Unreal Slackers, now Discord. No
Now
longer
Discord,
Slack,
yes,
yeah.
we're in that channel a lot.
Have received grants as well. And then visualizations, people like Kula, I'm sure you're familiar if you're any part of Unreal Engine's community or you follow any of our news, you know who Kula is, and then Renz DeBoer are doing fantastic visuals in Unreal Engine. Just inspiring things, sharing some of their process, having other people try to, emulate that and make their own things. And then, of course, video games, right? So a number of games have gone out. There's things like Everspace, Planet Alpha 31, Astroneer, Adrift. I'm sure you've seen our blog posts up. If you haven't, you can head to unrealengine.com/blog. There's a number of them up there. We typically put out, maybe an announce every month or so, and we'll probably have another one really soon. So yeah, it's been an awesome program. An important caveat too is no strings attached, right? Like,
Yes.
I know a lot of you have heard this, you've read the forum, you've probably even submitted, so I just want to recap for a lot of people. I'm trying to take too much time, but no strings attached. It's basically like, hey, you're doing awesome work. We're inspired by what you do. We believe in what you do. Here you go. Go nuts. We hope this helps. You can use it for whatever you want. You can disappear.
Upgrade your computer.
Yeah, totally. we have people that have done specifically that. It's like, I'm almost able to do exactly what I need to, but I'm just a little bit light on hardware, right? You can use it for anything. You could just never reply to us again about it. We hope that you keep in touch with us, and I'll tell you.
That's basically the idea. We want you to stick around. But,
Yeah, totally.
But no strings attached.
Yeah, but I'll give you a little bit of information as why we want to keep in touch with you for a little bit here in a second. But keep track of your programs because we'll get there. But over $1.7 million have been awarded from the program so far,
Wow.
which is really great. And I get asked quite a bit about, like, is the grants program still going? Are you guys still taking submissions and stuff? And I'd say the answer is yes,
Yes.
because it's $5 million up front. We've got it 1.7 out, so we anticipate it being around for quite some time. So you can check out the website. I know Shelly had dropped it in the lower thirds. Yep, there she goes again. You are so prepared.
She's on it.
She's the
Shelly's
best.
always on it.
Anyway, you can check out there if you want to submit your games. You can see some of the past winners. It's due for a refresh. There have been so many that have happened since we last went through there and did it, but you can expect some more really soon. So the reason I say we should definitely keep in touch if you get a grant, we want to kind of keep track of your progress, is because we don't just help with funding. When we talk about getting behind your project, right, like with the funds and those things, we want to help you be successful. And so there's a number of different other ways that we've engaged with these grant recipients. We've done a number of different showcases. If you head to unrealengine.com/showcase, you can see there's one for Everspace that's up there that Daniel just wrote with those guys. Wonderful team, grant recipient. They've showed their game a bunch of different places. We've done that for a number of different grant recipients, and we plan to continue going forward because you guys are awesome. You guys and gals are awesome and doing amazing work. Oh, look at that. Boom. Yay.
Love it.
Doing amazing work like some of these things you'll see here. Shelly's got some awesome B-roll from past winners that you can check out. Another thing too, now that we see Astroneer on the screen, there's expo space that shows with us like at GDC. So if Epic has a presence that we have that we're showing licensees, grant recipients often end up in those as well with us. Astroneer was out there with us. We've had Bears Can't Drift and a few others that have won grants in the past.
We've had people out there too. Not even grant people, just people from the community out at GDC talking about everything. So it's awesome.
Totally. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited for GDC. It's going to be a lot of fun. We also help get games into expo space at other shows as well, right? Like, so we really want to get behind like just the developer success and really help people find whatever that is, achieve the thing that they're looking for. And we've also sponsored with Unwinnable. It's a Stu Horvath's excellent like pop culture site. He does very long form pieces on grant recipients. There's a number of them there. You can check it out at unwinnable.com. All right, I know that seemed a little long-winded, but one cool thing we've done with the grants since we've launched them, so we kind of got the core of the program there. Last year, for the first time, we did our first partnership, which was with Valve, and they gave us 500 HTC Vive Pre's to be able to provide to the
I saw them
community.
come in the loading dock.
Yeah, so they've been
I pointed at my car.
Yeah. Right, so they've been awesome at helping us manage that whole process and help get hardware into the hands of capable developers everywhere that are making really great things in VR. So I wanted to give a quick update there. A lot of people have been asking me about them as I've been traveling and stuff, and we've been getting a little bit low. The shipment that you saw come in was the absolute last of them. So
oh, no.
we are sad to say that we are finally out. There's a few people that have submitted that we still have to reach out to. So if you've submitted for a Vive in the last, couple months or so, there's a chance that, it's still a possibility at this point. But we want to say thank you for your interest in it. We want to shoot a huge thanks to Valve for being able to help developers worldwide with this. And we hope to do more things like that in the future. On that note, the Humble Unreal Engine bundle, right, that we just saw there too. We're working with that team too to bring more eyes into the program and more team success through other different ways too. So you can again grab some great games from up there. You can support future Unreal Engine projects and other great initiatives, and then we'll let you know which grants are up there. Hopefully soon. And then the future, we're actually talking about a few other things as well as far as Unreal Dev Grants goes, and how we can do more things like this, because we find other people that are kind of like-minded, the same philosophy about developers and game development, and how it's how teams kind of have specific struggles, how projects have specific struggles, and like how this can be something that we can get behind some of these games and these individuals, and
because we know the struggles.
yeah, totally. As game developers ourselves, right?
Yes.
Like we've all certainly been there. So we love that other people are getting involved with us. They see that as a need as well, and so I can't imagine that we would stop doing some fun things like that. And on that note, we've actually been working a little bit with an internal partner on a couple of these things too. So Stacey,
some really fun stuff.
Yeah, I'll let you fill in.
So you've been talking a lot about the dev grants, and you came to me a little while ago and you said, hey, you guys have some really cool stuff coming in that I've seen. Why don't we talk about dev grants? And so I just, of course, thought it was a fantastic idea, because we have such a great thriving community. We have guys that that make weapons. The one guy we have, Kazio Hin, who has made a flat cannon that we actually use in the game. He's working on a bio launcher that we're putting in the game. I'm sorry. buy a rifle. Sorry. And we have so many different weapons now. And so, it's really exciting and fun to work with these guys. And some of them really go the extra mile. We had a while ago, we had a contest with MapCore, and we had some great maps that were submitted. And the top 5 maps we wanted to put in the game because they were so good and they looked fantastic even back then. So Sydney started working with these guys to get these maps in the game. And we have a new build that came out today that is going to be on the launcher. Well, actually, it's on the launcher right now. You can get it. And the maps that from there are all in the game. So we have 5 community maps in the game, playable, beautiful, lots of fun.
And see, it's crazy. The philosophy of Unreal Tournament is that, right? Like, it's a bunch of creators, both inside Epic and outside Epic, that are adding to the project, they're adding to the developer community, right?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people that work on Unreal Engine 4 or work in Unreal Engine 4 are old UT content creators, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so it's just amazing seeing this culmination of creativity that people are building, with Unreal
Right.
Engine 4 for your product, and they're really giving back to the community here, right? Like, they're
Sidney Rauschberger, who has been working with these guys a lot, he started when he was like 16 years old,
Yeah.
making maps for UT, and it's really exciting for him to be working with these guys and seeing how excited they are to have their content from this game that they played when they were little kids,
Right.
get inside the game. So, and most of the team actually that we have, most of us are modders.
Oh, totally.
But,
Well, that's most of Epic. I mean, it's funny every time I chat with Tim. We and modding comes up. It's just we always look back and we try to gauge what that percentage is, and it's just staggering. How many
it's such
people
a
come from
modding
that.
community, and
Yeah.
we all know each other. We go into different projects
Yeah.
and everything, and you'll see credits and stuff like that. And you'll see people that you used to play with or used to
Oh, yeah.
make mods with, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
So these 5 guys that made the maps, we're really excited. We're really excited to have them in there. We were talking about what we can do as far as putting them in the marketplace, and we wanted people to have the content and not have to worry about paying. And some people have the map and some don't. So we just wanted them to put it in there, and no questions asked. They said, yes, we want you to do it.
That's
Put
awesome.
them in there for free. We love doing it. We want to do it. We want to see our map in the game. But we do want to reward these guys because they did such a great job, and we're going to give them dev grants.
All right.
And these dev grants are a little bit different since these are for mods, and so
Right.
each one of these guys are going to receive $5,000.
Awesome.
And no strings attached. They can do what they want. We hope they upgrade their computer so they can build things faster
Yeah,
and get
that's
it and send things over to us. But I'd really like to show you the maps if we could and let you know who these guys are.
Absolutely.
So we have some screenshots. The first one is the map is Polaris, and it's made by Jason Baker, who you guys may know who are in the UT community as Payback. And congratulations,
awesome.
Payback. You've done a fantastic job. This map is super fun, and so excited to have it in the game. And once again, you can get it. You can get it today. Next, we have, this guy. This is Christopher Morris.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Morris
Yeah,
is
yeah.
also known as NATO.
Yep.
And NATO's been around the community for a while. And not only has he done maps for us and have maps for the game, he's very helpful in the community. He's answering questions all the time. Forum mod. He's on Discord talking to people, always so helpful. And we're really happy to be able to
That's
give him this.
awesome.
And his map is DM Salt.
Excellent.
And Salt is absolutely beautiful.
That
It
looks
harkens back to
awesome.
old UTs,
Yeah.
and with the castle theme and everything, it's really gorgeous. And he's put a lot of hard work in this. He actually streamed some of his development time and everything, trying to help other people. He's fantastic.
And that's the kind of thing, like, that we like to get behind here. I mean, I take a look at some of the community guys on our end that have got grants from us as well. It's that kind of behavior, right? It's those
Yep.
kind of people that are just like they're working so hard to give back to
the community, 'cause- yep.
right? Like into the product and make everything better because they believe in all of those things together, and that's the same way we approach Unreal Engine 4. And so much of our community is the same way.
Yes.
It's kind of awesome.
I
right?
know it is. It's so amazing. The next map we have, I'm actually going to do it in the right order today. I screwed up.
Oh, right.
Is Batrankus, and this was made by Glector and also known as Oscar. Oscar is obviously a very, very talented level designer.
That's great.
He not only is really great as far as the visuals go, he understands gameplay. This is a really vertical map, so this is, this map is really different and fun to play. It's a great 1v1 map. It's great for small teams. Super, super fun. So we're really excited for Oscar to be one of our
Cool.
recipients.
That's awesome.
The next map we have is Backspace. And Backspace is by Sinbad, who's also been around the community for a very long time.
And these are all UT. Like looking at this, like immediately, I'm
It's
like, that's UT.
the UT.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
That was one of the things that we noticed too when these guys were doing. You could tell they'd been around UT for a while because they would make a map and you're like, oh, that looks like UT.
Yeah, totally.
And
Except the
so
spirit, right?
Sinbad is also Ben Edney, and we're really excited for him to get this grant.
Cool.
Last but not least is Heresiarch's map. I said your name right that time, I think.
Heresiarch.
Heresiarch and Matthew Beal, and his map is called Unsaved, and this is another really fun map. And we're just really excited for these guys to be recipients, our first recipients. Hopefully, we're going to have some more in the future.
Yeah, totally.
And we would, like I said, we have not only this first thing we did maps because to kind of tie in with the map core contest and putting the maps into the game. We would also really like other people to have a chance of doing this. If you just go to the Unreal Tournament forums, which are forums.unrealtournament.com. Right now, Shelly's playing the video. That's okay. That's all right. It's
Hey,
good.
we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. This is really great because it shows that the gameplay in this is just fantastic as well. There's a lot of oohs and ahs shots in this one from Zacubus. So this video itself was made, the trailer was made by one of our community guys too, who we're contracting now. But we would really like for you to go to forums.unrealtournament.com and submit your own work and anything. If you do programming, mods, maps, whatever.
Yep.
We would 3D modeling. We would love for you to post your work, and we would love to take a look at it. No promises. But, if it makes it in the game, you just, you never know.
Yeah, one of the things that, we've always said about this is it's really not a contest, right? Like the grants program is really more about, it's merit-based, awesome work, right? People that are giving back and making a thriving community of Unreal creators better.
Yes.
And whether in our world, it's always been, whether you're building integrations or your education or actually your game, you're trying to move that thing forward. Right, like I think this fits right in there with that too.
Well, that was one of the things too, because like I said, we told these guys we'd like to put it in the game. Doesn't you'll have your credit,
Yeah.
You'll your name will be in the game, and they were so excited and happy to be able to do that. And that's what Unreal Tournament has always been about. Everybody has always just made stuff for it, made stuff that's fun to play that they want to play. So build stuff, make things.
Totally.
Come hang out with us, talk to us. The developers actually talk on the forums. They look at the content and we give feedback. So that's how we got where we are right now. With the Fly Cannon, with Casio Hen, and just talking to these guys and bringing them out and having a good time.
Yeah, and this isn't just for the Unreal Tournament community as well too. Like it's the whole family of Unreal developers too. So if you're interested in building stuff for UT, I mean,
it's good practice too, right?
You got a place to go for it. Oh, absolutely, yeah. What I've always loved about UT, specifically around the modding front, is like gives you a good base to start from, and you have a bunch of reference material to kind of work with, right? As opposed to just going into a sandbox to, like a sandbox that is UE and just like trying to build something from nothing, right? Like which is awesome. That's how games are made, right? But yeah, UT has always been like historically a great way to learn how to build things in Unreal Engine as well, right? So
well, another great thing is one of the maps actually was almost done, and then our guys released assets from one of the other maps, I think from Titan Pass, and he said, "Oh wait, I want to put some of these into my map."
Cool, yeah.
So he went back and so it's really great learning that you can see all these things that our developers had made who've had all this practice, and they can see how it's done and how it's how it's used, and
it's great.
It's been a really, really, really great process and it's a lot of great fun. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, anything else?
And thank you very much for the suggestion,
Yeah,
because these guys are
shoot.
awesome. They really deserve this, and we're really happy for them.
No, it comes down to like being inspired by the creator community, right? Like that's why the program exists. Like since we launched Unreal Engine and since we launched Unreal Tournament, I mean, it's been like every week I find something that like blows my mind, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
and that's everybody around here. It's just it seems endless, right?
Yeah.
It's really great. So
So if you haven't played Unreal Tournament,
go check it out.
go to
It's a lot of fun.
unrealtournament.com, grab it. You can start modding right away if you want to, or just play around for a little bit and see everything that's been done. We have a lot of new game mode, flag run, a lot of community maps now, a lot of maps that were made by our guys. So it's really getting there.
Cool. Yeah.
So.
Excellent. Anything else you got?
That's it.
All right. You can hang around and chat with me, or you can just head on out because I'm sure you have.
I
other
might
things
have
to
some
do.
work to do.
Yeah, I might have to do something. All right. Thanks.
We did
Stacey.
have a build go out today, so
It went out today.
it did.
I know. I saw the email from Zach.
Thank you
Amazing.
very much.
All right. Take
Thank you,
care.
everyone.
I have some more information, so I will hang with you guys.
I'm going to take this off.
That's cool. Hey, can I wear her mic too and just talk doubly? No. Yeah, that'd be kind of awkward anyway. Thank you, Stacey.
Thanks, Jan. Thanks, Jan.
And thank you, UT creators. All right, so I get a lot of questions on Unreal Dev Grants, and I wanted to just kind of address a lot of them here. There's many FAQs as I go to shows, as I get emails and everything else that way too. So it's been about 18 months since we launched it, so I figured we would start, just kind of address some of those things and kind of let you know where we're going and things like that. So, of course, application tips. Head to unrealengine.com/unrealdevgrants as listed below earlier. You don't have to shift it to it now, Shelly, but boom, there it is. There's a form on there. Now, I've gotten a few reports recently that the form is a bit broken. I think it might be because there's a character limit that's not necessarily super explicit on there. We could probably be a little bit better about it, but if you have any issue with hitting that form, you can also just hit up unrealdevgrants@epicgames.com and just send your submission in that way. The form made it a little bit easier for us to manage, but you know what? We don't want to add any extra friction or even block you completely all the way out. So head there and do that if you're ready to submit. People ask me when to submit or what to submit. I always tell them lead with your best content. We want you to wow us, right? Like we're really looking down for some of the things that are going to make us go, oh, this is really awesome. Like, and a lot of times we'll get like, really great design documents, some really fully thought out systems and things, but you got to have some sort of prototype that's already working before we can actually move forward. So build a prototype and wow us with it, and always lead with your best content. It's almost, I joke sometimes, it's almost like applying for a job, right? Like you want that touch point to be as solid as possible, like that first impression. Videos are really awesome. Videos are great because we can share them really easily. Part of the process around here is that many people actually review these, and so videos are very portable in the sense of everybody can watch them where they might actually be. So if somebody is on the road, somebody's on a plane, they're at a computer, whatever, they can at least check it out there. So if you have video, get it over to us. If you have a Steam Greenlight page or an IndieDB page, those help a lot too. Images are great. And again, ideas are just potentially a little too early. You can always give us your ideas alongside your prototype or alongside your other content like that. But content is kind of king. It's the thing that really makes your project, really be communicated to us. And in that, show us why the project is awesome. Like in that video, in that content that comes across. If we can't tell that your project is awesome by those things, then how will we know that it's awesome, right? Like, there are some that I people I've talked to in the past that have submitted, and then they've submitted again later with more content, and I do together. It was like it was two completely different projects, but just because the way that they were presented. So I encourage you to really think about, how your project is being communicated and send it over. One thing that's come across a lot that I'll also just make sure you do this. Your links, make sure that they work. Can't tell you how many links I get across that I open that are bad Dropbox links, that are bad URLs, that are bad websites. And I've tried to correct, website, maybe there's a typo in it or something, and I can almost guarantee you that I've missed a great title or two just because of the links didn't quite work when they came across. Same thing with a video. I've had a couple of videos come by and they were like the first 2 frames were good and then the rest of it was black after many downloads. So I would encourage you to test all your content before you send it over. A good thing is a submission that we actually don't move forward with doesn't really hurt you. So if you do make one of these mistakes, don't think it's the end of the world. I've had a lot of follow-up applications right after. Somebody submitted saying, "Oh, please, I'm so sorry. I need to give you this video instead. This is the one that I meant to send, and that's apologetic." It's totally fine. Totally know how that goes. Multiple submissions will never hurt you unless you're just super spammy with me. But even then, it's merit based, so we're going to go off the awesome content, and we want to see it. So if sending us a ton of submissions helps us see it, helps you communicate it, great. I welcome that as well. I've seen quite a few come across that ask for a reply from the dev grants alias or something that says that they want to reply before they want to share more information with us, which we think is great. But one of the reasons we can't really reply out of the gate, and we may change this in the futures depending on how the frequency of them coming through is, but we haven't been able to reply to every grant that comes across. Really not very many that we don't plan to move forward with, mostly because we've had many thousands of them roll across since the beginning of the program, and it's just a bit expensive on time to actually roll through all those things. So if you don't hear back from us, I encourage you to submit again if you've actually had some good progress on your title or on your project. Again, it doesn't really hurt you, and if you're going to apply and include something that we can actually take a look at, whether it be a build, whether it be images, whether it be videos, whether it be it's just anything that communicates your game outside of just an on paper idea. On that note, too, we do a lot of research outside of your submission too. So if you send something over to us, you've got a great video, you've got some screenshots that are in there, and I can find more about where your project lives on the web, whether it's a Twitter site, whether it's IndieDB, whether it's your own website, those kinds of things. That certainly helps a lot too. So, and that's not just for me; that's for anybody that's involved in the process here, but. Really, if we can find an application that comes across, do a little research and figure out who you are and what your game is, that that really helps us understand, well, both specifically those things, like what is your project and who you are. I know there's going to be a lot of y'all that are under the radar, and that's totally fine too, and you can't really share these things more openly. But when we can find those things, like having a public appearance certainly does help. It really helps us really know more about it, right? I get asked this one a lot too about the builds. So sometimes we don't have the ability to download a build that comes across for a number of different reasons. Since there's not like a single path for the grants to come through and get reviewed, as far as the people that are involved, or there's a number, and then there's a number of people involved. They don't always have like the correct Android phone that the build is actually ready for, or they might not have the HTC headset to be able to review it at a specific point. And so when we can, we'll download the builds and check them out. There will be some scenarios that we actually it's not feasible for us to make happen. So we're going to try to whenever we can, and there's also security reasons about taking executables over the internet into into our computers and just making sure that everything is all right. So if you do see that the build isn't downloaded, don't fret. We did see it. We did check out your project, and if it's the only thing that comes across, we try our best to make sure we get that in, and we can appropriately address everything. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is one last thing I said a little bit earlier too, but if it's been a little while since you've made progress and you haven't heard from us, there is no pain in submitting again. You can just shoot it over and say, hey, I'm just resubmitting my project here. Here's kind of where we are in development. There have been a number of dev grant recipients that have submitted 4, 5, 6 times maybe before they got through all of the approvals and we actually moved forward on them as well. So I think that it's a good thing for you to do. Don't feel like you're bothering us by any means. We actually encourage that when it's possible, or whenever it's appropriate. So if you've made some progress and it's been a little while, it doesn't hurt to shoot it over to us again. All right, so a little bit about what to expect in going forward as well. We're usually anywhere between 2 weeks and 2 months kind of behind on the actual review queue. So again, if it's been a little while, I say a month because that's kind of more on average about how long it's been since we are kind of in review. But we kind of have waves of applications come in and out, and we try to process those internally as fast as we can. And as mentioned before, many people weigh in. This is a multi-person effort to to review these great applications. There's not really a single point or a single path that comes through here. And this goes for the UT grants as well. Chatting with Stacey beforehand too. It is a very very big process there. It's very important to a lot of people here at Epic. We believe in this project. We believe in your project, and so there's a lot of people that care deeply about it. It keeps biases kind of at bay. No one person is making decisions, or no group of people are making decisions, and it helps keeps the spirit of the project intact. So sometimes that adds time to the review, sometimes not. That's kind of why you might see some of those gaps as well too. We're trying really hard to close this gap. One of the ways is to be able to have a better way to organize data when actually take a submission in. So one of those things would be to replace the existing web form that I've mentioned is a little prohibitive for people to actually fill out right now due to some character limits and scaling on the site. I'm looking at maybe using a Google form or something that's easier for you to fill out and easier for us to actually parse on the back end. So we're looking at other ways as well to kind of like drop those queue times down as well. And again, if you have problems with that web form, you can always email unrealdevgrants@epicgames.com. We are getting those. People ask me all the time, do you get all these things? Yes, there's a big old pile of them. They just keep stacking up there that we dig through all the time. So as mentioned before too, where there's plenty of money left in the programs fund, and so we're going to continue to move on for quite some time. So we encourage you to submit. If you're thinking your project's a little bit too early to submit, then it probably is. So I would say wait until you feel good about it and then submit, and then know that if you don't hear anything, you can always submit again once you've moved forward a little bit as well. So I would encourage you to do so. I can't wait to see what the rest of y'all end up making. I would chat with somebody else to think about if it's time to move on to QA, but I guess I'm calling all the shots today. So I will hop on down. There's a few questions that have come through here. If you've got something, go ahead and drop it into the chat. I think Adam is in there grabbing them. I don't know if he's going to be able to get to all of them, but we will see what we can do. So I got will Epic Games move to Canada? It's funny, we do have a Montreal office now. I don't know that we're not going to move to Canada necessarily, but we do have a Montreal office there that there's a number of our staff that's working out of. It's pretty awesome. Unreal Engine, will this mean that Make Something Unreal contest might return as well? I don't really know of anything at this point, but I can't say that it will never return as well, because I don't know the future. If I did, this would be a really interesting live stream. But I can't say that there are plans right now that are in place for that. Could the best gameplay ever, but nearly no art value guys too. Not that I have that right now, but just wondering. Sure, yeah, if you've got something that's super innovative, that's really awesome, that just plays and feels good, feel free to submit it too. It's not all art projects that come across. It just happens to be that a lot of the teams that do submit, they submit when they're at a level that the game feels like what the game's going to look like, and the art aesthetic actually plays pretty heavily into that, into what their game is. Like Shelley is showing right now, The Artful Escape of Francis Vendetti. I mean, this game has a lot of dialogue. There's some core mechanics of movement and things, but the game itself prides itself on that, the art aesthetic and the music and the way that it's all presented. So if what makes your game awesome can be communicated, I'd say go nuts. Do we need to explain what we need the money for? Nope, you do not need to explain what you need the money for. A lot of people do. Hey, we would love to know if you want to share more about your project, about your situation, yourself individually, your favorite food color. Wait, is that a thing? Anything like that where, we're happy to have it. We're probably going to continue in a dialogue with you anyway, so we hope to get to know more about you, but no reason for you to have to send us any justification. It's merit-based. We're not trying to judge need versus the project itself.
Breakfast pastries.
Shelley wants to spend it on breakfast pastries. Yes, but you have to submit your project first. Okay, great. Just let me know. Yes, so you could spend it on breakfast pastries if you want. I just submitted my game for a dev grant. I'm getting new art for the game, so I don't have to use the mannequins. Can I just attach new screens and video to the email? Yeah, feel free to do that. Just let us know what it is, and if you want to just shoot it back through the main channel, we'll take a look there and we'll try to combine the two and make sure that they're assessed together. How is a prototype supposed to look? How many levels? How much art instead of dummies, etc.? Again, it's going to change game by game or even project by project. So I would just come back and say, if you can get by with a very minimal amount that actually shows what the project is and kind of how you expect it to be played, and we can really understand that in a way that's not just an idea sheet. That's kind of where we want to go from there. Can I update at work forum WIP section and give the link as a reference? Absolutely. So whenever you send over to us any link that goes out to something else that's not, going to crash my system is good. There's been a number of people that I have won dev grants in the past that have forum links that we just use that, and then when they'll submit again, we'll head back over there and check it out. Just as long as you let us know kind of in that thread where you want us to look would be super helpful. But again, a lot of times when we get a submission that comes across, we look in a lot of the normal places to make sure that we are finding everything we can about you and your project out. Could you give me an idea about what the deciding factors and variables are for determining the amount given in the grant? That is a good question, and I don't know that I can really answer that here because this is like, again, there's a lot of people that are involved in the process. This goes all the way through the executive approvals at Epic, so not really anything I can really shed a whole lot of light onto today. How often is the amount asked for adjusted when giving out the grant? Should we ask for a specific amount range? Got it. So a lot of teams do ask for a specific amount range, or they kind of tell what their need is when it comes across here. How often is it adjusted? I'd have to say that I don't even have a good grasp on that individually, because it's going to be more about the project itself, right? Like, and then we'll start with the project there, and then it'll go through the process. So they're a little bit disconnected, I would say, and that's why I tell people they don't need to tell us what they need the money for specifically. We're happy to know, but really we want to be able to meet some needs, based on the merit of your project. How long does it normally take to hear back in a positive case? This varies. It varies on a number of things. When you last submitted to whenever you actually get a reply from us, it can be anywhere from a week to I'd say we're a couple months back sometimes as far as the backlog actually builds up. We're trying to close that down and make it a lot shorter moving forward, so that will change. But again, if you haven't heard back from us, I'd say within a month and a half, and you've made some progress, you can submit again. And I think that is the last question that's come across here. So I'll give it a couple more seconds to see if anything else comes up while Adam's checking the chat. But I hope that's given a little bit more information about the program itself and kind of where we're going. I'm excited to see what we end up doing next with new projects that you've sent over and with potential new partnerships going forward. And we can grab one more question here, then we're going to kick off the game jam. Can we submit dev grants based on community education criteria since you don't do just games? Yep, you can. We've done a number of different education-based dev grants in the past. If you take a look at the unrealengine.com/blog, or you should Google search Unreal Engine education grants. There have been a number of people out there that have written amazing books, that have done amazing tutorial series, that have done just general helpfulness since the beta, that we've wanted to get behind those great efforts to help out the community. And yeah, so those are certainly eligible as well. And then, okay, probably last question, then we'll kick off the game jam. What's up with NSFW projects? Is it okay for Unreal Engine to use those, and can they participate? We don't want to say that anybody is going to be excluded from the project, so I wouldn't necessarily consider it to be something that is out of the question. Just how we promote it after the fact might be a little bit different than if we were to do something for Everspace or Astroneer. All right. Well, I hope that's been informational. If you have more questions, feel free to drop them into the chat there. And again, I wanted to reiterate too that Unreal Tournament specific content needs to continue to remain on forums at Unreal Engine or unrealtournament.com instead of through the submission form here too, because that team is the one that's working mostly with those creators and those kinds of things. If they end up over on this side as well, there's no harm done there as well. As Stacey and I are really close friends, we hang out quite a bit. I guess, Shelly, we should kick this game jam off, huh?
Is it that time?
I guess it's that time. All right, so real quick before we do, just let everybody know we're going to kick off the game jam. Everybody has until midnight, Sunday night, Monday morning to build something really awesome. The top 3 titles based on overall visual quality, fun, and let's see, best use of theme will receive an Epic swag bag. And Alex will be back next week to be judging those with me. So we are excited about what you're going to make for the November UE4 Jam. And I guess we can go with the flow. Boom. So this month's theme is Go with the Flow. You can head over to the forum post, which I will update here shortly, and I will drop in the official updated rules as well as a link to the submission thread. It'll show up there as well. Yeah, happy development. We will chat with you next week.